All right, quick preview video for the Xfinity series over at Pocono. We got a 2.5 mile long flat track. It's only 3 turns, pretty unique racetrack because it is such a long track. There's only 90 laps for this Xfinity race. So really not a ton of dominator points. You got, excuse me, you got 22.5 points for laps led and 40.5 points for fast laps. Um, uh, Pocono is a relatively a unique track. It's hard to find other tracks to really compare to. The nice thing about the Xfinity series is they're running the same car that they've been running for basically forever. So we can really go back and look at previous Pocono races, whereas the Cup Series are really just trying to focus more on the 2022 data and trying to find, tracks or just look at overall, green flag speeds or driver ratings in terms of what data points we're looking at least coming into the weekend. Nice thing with the Xfinity Series, not only can you look at the 2022 data, but you have all the previous Pocono races to dive into as well. So, real quickly, we'll get a final picks video up, and we will get a final spreadsheet that has interest levels, notes, where they start, give you a really clear understanding of where we want to go. But at least coming into this weekend, these are drivers that stood out to me, whether through pricing or just how they've been running so far this year. And for me, I think I really want to build basically a good chunk, if not all of my lines around really 2 drivers, and that's going to be Justin Allgaier and Cole Custer. Cole Custer, every time we see him step into the Xfinity series, he is contending for the win. He's up front. He's leading laps. He's picking up fast laps. Yes, he's in the 07 SS Greenlight machine, but everybody knows it is a Stewart Haas Racing prepared car, and he is here to win. So I really like Cole Custer. He's not always our favorite play over on the Cup Series side, but when you get to the Xfinity Series and when he jumps down into this car, he always is, having a good day. So want to target him. The other driver we really want to target is just going to be Justin Allgaier. Justin Allgaier is extremely experienced. He knows what he's doing. The JRM cars have been extremely fast, and you just feel confident plugging him into your line. So I really like Allgaier and Custer as kind of like our 2 top plays, and then trying to build around them, or depending on how practice and qualifying goes, maybe leaning really aggressively towards one of them and then pairing them with some of the other drivers we've highlighted in green. Some of those other drivers are going to be AJ Allmendinger. $9,300 looks way too cheap for this weekend. He is the Xfinity Series points leader. He's just a top 10 machine. He's going to consistently run well. He's going to be up towards the front of the field. He's not going to put the car in harm's way. He's going to make sure that car gets, to the finish line. So I really like AJ Allmendinger. And some other drivers that are too cheap, I think you can really easily fit in the lines as potentially an option 3, type of driver who could get up to the lead. It's not really likely, but has that potential, would be Daniel Hemrick, Brandon Jones, and even Riley Herbst. I think Riley Herbst having Cole Custer at the track really benefits Riley, because they can look at, what is Cole doing? What kind of setup does Cole have? What is working well for Cole? And they aren't necessarily, maybe aren't direct teammates, but both of those cars are coming out of the same stable or the same shop. So you got to imagine that Custer and Herbst are going to be communicating somewhat throughout the weekends, or at least their teams will be. So I like the value there. Brandon Jones has got, unfortunately, into a lot of accidents as of late, but it's still a JGR card, $8,600. And Daniel Hemrick is, kind of priced right around where he should be. But depending on what his practice and qualifying speeds look like, I think he's an easy driver to fit in the lines. Same thing with Landon Castle. I mean, Landon Castle's even $1,000 cheaper than Daniel Hemrick. He's a really easy driver who has top 10 upside that you can easily fit in your lines. From there, kind of more the top 12, maybe top 15-ish type of range. You're going to have Brandon Brown and Anthony Alfredo for me in the 7K range. I just think, if you're going to pay up for Sieg or Ferrucci or even Burton, just see if you can somehow squeak to get Landon Castle or maybe even Sheldon Creed in your line. I think the gap up to those 2 drivers is going to be worth that extra, few $100, and then maybe swapping out a value play further down. So Some of the value plays I don't mind coming in this weekend are going to be Mason Massey, David Starr. And then it's kind of interesting. I both, the Alpha Prime cars have just been taking a beating as of late, but I guess they still have enough cars to field, the entry list and to get, both of these drivers to the track. So the equipment alone is significantly better than all the other cars that are priced around. So I really like Raja and Sage Karam of the value punt ranges. So yeah, for me, it's really just going to be a lot of Allgaier, a lot of Custer, and then, kind of varying my lines accordingly with some of the other drivers we like. And again, practice and qualifying can change a lot. And that's why we want you to tune back in. We want you to tune back into the picks video. We want you to go over our Twitter and get a idea of, where our final picks are going to be. So the quick picks video, hopefully that's helpful. Our cup, not picks video, our cup preview video and our Xfinity preview video, which this is already up. And then we will get the truck preview video up as well.